Hello and welcome. I'm Ryan Buetow.
And I'm Levi Helmuth.
I'm an NDSU Area Extension Specialist in Cropping Systems.
And I'm an instructor with the North Dakota Farm Business Management Program, employee of BSC.
You are watching Agronomy and Economy. Today is January 13th, 2016. Why don't you start with the market update?
Yeah, we'll start with the markets. Yesterday, January 12th, was a big grain trading day. We had some USDA reports came out, told us where we're at with things. Corn was right around where they thought the ending tons were going to be. It was on the low end. Wheat acres were lower than forecast for what they kind of expected. We saw some rallies across the board as far as corn, spring wheat, winter wheat. It was a solid. We saw a solid 10 to 13% gains across the board on those crops. And that did translate into some higher prices for our spot prices. I know 5 to 10 cents depending on where you are across southwest North Dakota. Hard red spring wheat for average for the month of January is at $4.37. That's $8 higher than December, but $8 lower than November. Hard red winter is at $3.53. That's 6 cents lower than December and 8 cents lower than November. So even with the gains of yesterday, we're still seeing at the spot price we're still down from where we were kind of in the fall, moving into 16. Corn is at $2.80. It's down 12 from December and down 6 from November. Canola actually went up. It's $13.28. That's up 73 cents from December and up 8 from November.
Great.
And sunflowers are kind of big losers. We had talked about needed to lock a price in on those. So far in January, $13.29 is oil sunflowers. That's down $1.72 from December and $1.18 from November. So that kind of where the marketing, planning, and locking prices in really pay off. And I haven't seen today where stuff's trading at. It'll be interesting to say. Usually in the afternoons I'll take down the prices. What we've heard from some of the marketers in the past is that we were going to see rallies, and the rally like we saw yesterday, they were going to be 1 to 2 day events, and they weren't going to be week-long events like some of their past traditional cycles have been. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, and hopefully maybe you were on your toes and were able to take advantage of some of the price swings up that way. Moving into livestock, feeder cattle, we saw a rally back in the middle of December, and I believe our last episode was right after that rally had started. So that rally kind of topped out in the middle of January with trading in the mid 160s for feeders. Today it's trading in the mid 150s, but that's still a solid $10 above the 144 we saw in December. Live cattle, the high spot cash price for cattle trading was the beginning of January, $1.33. Second week of January average was $1.32, so we're still well above the December lows of 116, 118. Live cattle trading it was higher into the 133, and so that it's trading in the mid 120s, and so that's we're still high. We're above those lows we hit in December. And that's translated into the sales range too. Regionally, we've had some sales. Dickinson and Lemon have some sales here beginning of January. And 400 and 800 weights across the board were probably on the average about 15 cents higher for 400 weight to 800 weights across the board, up from where they were in the middle of December when we were at those lows. Breeding stock, I've had some guys ask about what breeding stock's trading at. Bred heifers and young bred cattle are trading probably $17.50 to $18.50, somewhere in there. Depends on the day, depends on how far east or west, north or south there. But though that's livestock, we're seeing prices are still down from 14, but I think they're still good. We're still above the lows we kind of hit the end of the year. Boxed beef is trading up the last week, so I think that's a good sign as far as demand for beef. I'm optimistic about beef. Grain, we're still low, but it's just going to take some time to chew through some of the old inventory that we have, see if there's any sort of production problems that develop in Brazil, Argentina, the Black Sea region. So just keep an eye on the markets. If there is anything that develops that way, be nimble, be able to take advantage of those 1 to 2 day price upswings.
Yep. Yeah, it's good to see a few things like canola go up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to cut into our topic of the day. It's been about a year, or no, it's the first episode of the new year, and some people like to make a New Year's resolution. We're not going to tell you what ours are, but we're wondering what your New Year's resolution is for your operation. And whether it's using a new technology like our tile drainage, a new crop, or a cover crop, what are you doing? How can you make sure that you take some time to get things right? It's not going to work the first time you try it out sometimes.
Definitely. And when you're looking at this and figuring out where you want to go with your operation, this is a good time of year to sit down and do that. You're going to go in and talk to your banker probably anyway, and you need to have a starting point though where you're at. Look at your balance sheet, look at your income statements, look at your enterprise analysis as far as the break-evens on your wheat and your cattle. If you don't have those numbers, give me a call. We can sit down and start looking at some of that stuff to subtly sell my product. But you do need to have a starting point and have an idea of where you are, because if you can't figure out where you want to go, how do you get there if you don't know where you're starting at? So figure out what your starting point is, and then set some goals, short-term and long-term goals as far as where you are, where you want to go. And once you've identified those goals, how do you get there?
And be realistic about it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to try, if you're in the bottom 20% of producers, and your goal is to switch that and be in the top 20, you're probably not going to be there in 2017.
Right.
You need to be realistic about how far up you can jump.
Yep, definitely. And I guess that's all we have for you today, and have a good one.
Thanks for stopping by.